Hey, this week we're going to talk about, is there a housing crash coming in 2021? So welcome back to the channel. This week I thought I would touch on the potential housing crash. A lot of rumors coming down the pike, nationally at least, and a lot of curiosity, anxiety about, is there a housing crash coming in 2021? And I thought I would share some things with you that I have been watching and hearing and so forth for you to make up your own mind and at least be watching for one and knowing what to look for. So I want to credit one of the people that I've been watching. His name is Jaspreet Singh. He is on the minorityReport.com, or sorry, the minoritymindset.com, and a lot of great economic videos on that channel, on that website, and you can watch him on YouTube as well. And he had a video not long ago about this exact topic, more from a national perspective than, of course, our Columbia market, and also some of the things that I've been keeping track of through Keller Williams and other outlets. So, currently it's November of 2020. We are potentially facing more lockdowns. We are still, of course, in the middle of a pandemic, and unemployment is still pretty high. It's come down, way down from the peak in March, April of this year. And so nationally, we are about 7% unemployment. South Carolina is better than that. Most of the unemployment is in the sectors of the leisure and hospitality areas and retail, of course. And the thing about those two areas, those sectors, is most of the home buyers are not in those, or homeowners are not in those sectors. Those are mostly young people, like working in restaurants and retail and so forth. They're out of jobs. And so that is one of the reasons why the housing market has not taken such a beating. In fact, we're having record highs in home prices. Interest rates are at all-time lows. And so, 75% of the homeowners nationally are in the 35 years and up category. The others are mostly 24 years of age to 35. So, when you go back to when was the last big housing crash, it started in 2008. That was when it started. Home prices didn't actually bottom out until about 2012. And the climate at that time, in fact, leading up to that, back in the early 2000s, was interest rates were coming down, and there was a lot of variable rate, subprime, stated income sort of rates that were very flimsy, and just about anybody with a pulse could get a loan. In fact, they had what were called ninja loans. No income, no job, no assets, and so the mortgage industry was kind of running amok. Since then, there's been a lot of regulation put into that industry, and so the lending practices aren't nearly as loose now, but it still can be a factor for us. And meanwhile, a lot of people took out some subprime loans that were variable rate, very low rates. And, the home prices up until 2008 were going up, and then they started coming down. And then people started trying to sell their homes and couldn't sell them for what they were worth. And so it just caused a huge blow up, and there were tons of foreclosures. In fact, in 2008 versus now, the number of people out of jobs were about the same. And also in 2008, there were 3.1 million, I think, foreclosure notices sent out that year. And this year, it's a little bit different because it's not legal to foreclose on people right now because of the whole stimulus plan and all that. There are 3.6 million people in forbearance right now. The forbearance program was where if you can show a hardship, you can not pay your mortgage for right now. And so, but the banks can't foreclose on you. Now, that program ends in 2021, so we'll see what happens with all the regulations and those kind of things next year, and see if the stimulus package, if there's another one that comes out and so forth. So as I have heard, and I'm trying to summarize and paraphrase this as best I can and not have this be an hour-long video, but just to kind of give you a primer. And as I said, you can do your own research. But there are about three potential scenarios that could happen next year. One is the economy recovers. You know, the pandemic starts easing, and we have less and less lockdowns, and the economy starts getting back in shape. And you know, the jobless rate goes way down, and so then people can afford their mortgages, get caught back up, and you know, everything's great. So that's one option or one scenario. Another scenario is where the economy doesn't recover, and you know, we still do another stimulus, which is basically printing money, and you know, but the forbearance program ends, but yet home prices don't continue to go up like they have been. So in that scenario, that may be, of course, worse than if the economy recovers. The other option or scenario that could happen is the forbearance program ends, the economy doesn't recover, home prices continue to climb, and pretty soon homes are not affordable for many people, not to mention that the jobless rate continues to be high and the foreclosures, you know, start happening. You know, if that program isn't extended, when the foreclosures happen, the supply will go up, which means the house prices will go down, and then that could lead to a crash. Now I'm talking macroeconomics here, nationally speaking. The other thing to remember too is real estate does not move near as fast as the stock market. The stock market can go up or down 10% in a day, and you've seen that happen, you know, even this year. You know, real estate takes a while. When in the 2008 crash that we all talk about, home prices didn't actually bottom out until 2012. And I think nationally it was like in the 30% range, the home prices went down. And finally, around 2018, I think nationally we had recovered back to the 2008 home prices. So, you know, in 2021, I don't think anybody is thinking that home prices are going to drop 30%. In fact, I haven't heard anybody think they're going to drop that much even over the next several years. But where it does bottom out, if it does happen, it'd probably be in the 2022, 23 range. And so those are some things to be watching. The four factors in all of this are unemployment and what are interest rates doing. You know, if interest rates start going up to make homes less affordable, then the demand will go down, and then you know, if the foreclosures or the forbearance program is discontinued and foreclosures go up, with supply going up and home prices going up or going down, then you know, that could lead to a big swing in home prices and the crash. And then, so those are some things to be mindful of and what's going on. I hope I did a good enough job of at least getting you a sort of a primer on how all this works. The last thing I'd like to say is, you know, all that stuff that you see on YouTube or the internet or whatever, usually it is based on the national economy. I mean, we have a local economy here in South Carolina and even here in the Columbia market. And, you know, I'd hate to be in Manhattan right now thinking about selling my condo that's was worth $1 million because the big mass exodus from New York. But I have mentioned in other videos that South Carolina, depending on which study you look at, is at least in the top 5 in terms of states in the United States of people moving to. So, you know, our demand continues to be exceptional. Our inventory here is right now, as I speak, in the 1.5 months range. I mentioned that in my last video. And so I don't see, like, you know, hey, maybe I should wait until the middle of 2021 to start buying rental properties because the prices will be down. Or, you know, in terms of selling your home, I mean, there has never been a better time in the history of real estate in Columbia to sell your home than right now. Now, how much better it gets, or if it does get better, I don't know. I mean, all along I have said I'm not an economist. I can't predict the future. But I will say this, all good things must come to an end, and there may be a dip, although I don't foresee it being this 30% dip that we in our market saw from 2008 to 2012. So hope that helps. Hope you have a great week. And, if we can help you with any kind of real estate decisions or help, please give us a call or DM us on our Facebook page or email me directly. Have a great week. Bye.